Our next guest is Amy Wawn, a young lady from Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, who has made London and, I have to say, Camden, her home. Amy is a Talent Bank artist, and since the end of lockdown, we really have been busy together. We've put Amy live on stage at Eccleston Yards, at the brand new Hard Rock Cafe at Piccadilly Circus. And one thing I want to talk about today was a great live stream that we did from an iconic London venue. But let's go back just a little bit and talk to Amy and find out what it's been like for her bringing herself and her music to London. Amy, tell us your story.
Hi, Ray. Thanks for having me. I moved here in 2017 from Zimbabwe, basically because of a very tough situation there for the arts. And it was a big adjustment. I almost gave up at one stage, but I've really been sticking it out for the past year, and I'm glad I have. Very happy to be here.
Well, we had Carlo in the studio today from How Does It Sound? And we were talking to him about his first documentary, The Spirit of Camden. And I understand that you, Amy, are going to feature in that documentary. So I've got two questions for you. First is, what was it like when they were doing the filming? And I understand they filmed at the Spiritual Bar. So the second question has to be, what do you think of the Spiritual Bar and what it does to support music in London?
All right. Being asked to be part of that interview was a real honor and was really, really chuffed and surprised. And it was pretty interesting to be able to be asked questions about how I got there. Being from Zimbabwe, finding this amazing community of people. I mean, incredible grassroots venue with a person who can only be called just a curator par excellence, which is Raphael Pesce, and he keeps everyone together with he's got a beautiful spirit and a great ear for music. So that documentary is going to be out soon, I believe the 10th of November, so keep an eye out. In terms of the venue itself, it's just such a crucial place for artists to go and meet each other, to hear original music, and to feel supported. So
now you said, and by the way, on the Spiritual Bar, I just completely go along with everything you've just said. Raphael has created just such a special supportive environment for grassroots musicians. But you said that you moved from Zim because things were tough for the arts. How are you feeling about the arts in London and Britain right now?
Well, I don't think anyone could have foreseen this, and not such a worldwide dilemma. And it's just, I mean, it's understandable, but it's just really heartbreaking that when bad things happen, the first things to suffer are our arts and the creative industries, which is really the signs of when a society is thriving, and obviously we're not right now, and we're all working together to fix it. But I feel like it's always the easiest thing for people to chop off the budget, even though it's so necessary. It brings joy and it brings a feeling of meaning and purpose to our lives. So not too positive. I know that we'll get through it all, but when and how is the question.
We will get through it, Amy, and we will get through it with people like you, with you, your voice, your guitar, your stomp board, your ankle bells, and everything that you bring to your wonderful performances.
Thanks, Ray. We keep fighting, right? We'll keep bringing the sound.
And I suppose that as we do work out what the new normal looks like, perhaps it's a good opportunity for you to share with us we were approached by a very major live stream partner called Streamly. They took over a large London venue, normally with a capacity of 2,500. And we put on an 8-band live stream festival live from London, which you opened, you and your wonderful accompanist, Gina. Tell us, Georgina, thank you very much. So tell us, Amy, normally when you walk out on a stage into a 2,500 cap venue, you would expect the audience to roar their approval. How was it playing to a global audience, but to nobody in the room?
Well, it's something I've struggled with ever since the beginning of when lockdown started and streaming started, and the bizarre idea that even though there's no one around you in the room, there could be thousands to millions of people that would watch it then, or if not later. And yeah, if once you get past that, because at the end of the day, you should be playing as if you're playing for one person, the same for 1,000. The only problem is the energy, Ray. It's just not there in the room, and it's really hard to kind of muster it yourself, which I think we did that day. But yeah, it definitely was something that it worked, and it was a good way for fans to see what you're doing, but not easy to perform like that. No.
Well, I on the day you had a peculiar audience of one, and that was me. As you saw, we had a full technical crew, we had sound, light, we had everything that a major gig would have except the audience. And it was fascinating for me to watch you and Gina, because you had body language, you had eye contact, you started performing, but by your final song, you were both completely in the zone. And it was fantastic to witness.
Thanks, Ray. Yeah, we did get into it eventually, and it definitely became more of a thing between me and Gina, and like bouncing off each other's energy and realizing, people are watching, and you got to do it for the fans out there,
Well,
but it was a pleasure to play for the audience of one.
Well, I would encourage anybody that would like to see that performance to get onto the Streamly app, because on that app, they will see Amy and Gina, one of Amy's Calamities, and you will be able to choose one of 5 different camera angles to watch the show from. And Amy, I am giving you that one-man 5-star review.
Much appreciated. Can I put it on the website? 5-star review, Ray Jones.
Yeah, you must do that immediately. But Amy, before we close down this interview for Soho Radio, let me please just give you a heartfelt thank you for bringing your music and your talent and sharing it in our city. You have added something very special to our culture. Thank you, Amy.
Ray, that means a lot. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we're going to keep doing this more and more, and find ways to get the good vibes out there, man.
That is a promise. Thank you for being with us, Amy.